Welcome, 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 everybody. How are y'all doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing good. Y'all, I've got my channel named Low Budget Pantry Staple Items. Okay? And we're going to talk about low budget pantry staple items tonight and a couple of other things about preparedness. Now, I'm going to see who's in the chat real quick. Hey, all four. Hey, Echo. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing well tonight. Y'all doing pretty good? Yeah, here I am. Ooh, woot, woot. Hey, What Life? How are you, dear? How's good old Georgia treating you tonight? Hey, Teresa Buchanan. How are you doing, love? I hope you're doing good. Well, y'all, let me tell you. I went through some of my stuff in my pantry today, and that I just bought from the store, and I'm glad I got to looking. Y'all, I had bought some ketchup recently. I mean, like within the last couple weeks, to put up it, in the pantry for not. It's not an emergency item, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's a pleasure item, and when you're cooking meals and stuff that like beans and rice and other things on a low budget, y'all, you got to jazz it up sometimes, and sometimes a little bit of ketchup is it's like a comfort food. You know what I mean? So I do enjoy my ketchups, and I can make it homemade, but y'all, I really do like my. Honestly, I like the store bought ketchup too. But y'all, that stuff was bad, and I was so upset. I said, Glad I looked, because it had already started getting mold around the top of it. And the bad thing was when I bought it, you couldn't see because that mold was right above where the top part, the label and all that's at the top. So yeah, I couldn't see that. But yeah, y'all, check your when you're uh, going in your room or your pantry to get an item. Take a gander and look over all of your other food and stuff, and make sure everything's still good to go. Because it could be one bad um, container of something that might somehow bust open. Pineapple is a good example. Pineapple is well known for um, it basically the acid that's in it eating through the can if you just leave it on the shelf. Tomato paste, same thing. The acid in it will eat through the can eventually if it's old enough, and that could drip down on. Let's say you have um, a box or something that you haven't got around to putting in another container yet, and it drips down on it. You could ruin a lot of stuff by that juice drizzling down on some other stuff. Or well, maybe you got your potatoes up underneath there, your onions or your apples or something lower down for storage. Check your items frequently. Okay? Now, hey, Grit and Grace, how are you doing? If you, what life are you seeing? Boy, I'll make you a peach cobbler. Cobble, 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 gobble, gobble. Grit and Grace. I didn't even see you come in here. Oh my goodness. How did I miss Grit and Grace? I don't know. I don't know how I missed you, darling, but I did. Okay. So, anywho, y'all, um, I did my checklist for my pantry items, and I've got to get some more wheat flour, and I'm pretty good on everything else other than jasmine rice. I've got to get jasmine rice. And the good thing about rice, flour, sugar, um, even your yeast and stuff, you can buy in bulk at, y'all know, Sam's and other places. But I have noticed that my local Piggly Wiggly, good old Piggly Wiggly, has now started carrying 25-pound bags of flour and sugar at certain stores that they have. So, y'all, if you don't have a Sam's membership or a Costco membership, or even if those things aren't even in your area, you could probably ask your local grocery stores if they could start carrying in bulk if they don't. And they may be willing to start putting it on the shelf. You know, at Piggly Wiggly, we ask them, the local ones here, we go in there every once in a while and ask them about certain items. And if we can get enough people to go in there from our church or our community groups and request it, they'll go on and start bringing it in just like that. And that'll save you gas, money, time, you know. Now, it is about $1 more a bag for the sugar at Piggly Wiggly than it is for you to drive, or, you know, at the place in Wilmington, the wholesale places. But, y'all, by the time you spend the gas money driving all the way up into town, it's actually cheaper for you to just pay that $1 extra bag at the Piggly Wiggly, you know, unless you are planning making a trip to go up there and you've got to get a whole lot of stuff. So sometimes your local grocery stores will carry the bulk items, and they also have a good quality number 10 can sections at a lot of the local grocery stores. And it's not just Piggly Wiggly. Sometimes Food Line has those number 10 cans. If you're in the lower eastern part of the United States, you got Food Line, Piggly Wiggly, Publix, Lowe's food stores, and other places. So if you're in the southeast, y'all know whenever you go in there, look, and if you don't see, ask. Just saying, just ask. Hey, Access Humboldt Unincorporated, how are you doing, darling? Hey, Cheryl Rich, how are you doing, baby? Okay, y'all. Yeah, it's foggy there. Mmm. It ain't foggy here. It's kind of humid, though. Okay, y'all. Did everybody get all their, y'all know it's National Preparedness Month, so has everybody gotten their flashlights, their batteries, checked all their detectors, like, you know, the smoke alarms and your carbon monoxide little alarms and things, and made sure all your little gadgets for like your garage doors and shed doors and all that, and y'all make sure all of those things are in good operating order. Hey, remote viewer. Yeah, it's humid in a lot of places. You get that little bit of rain and then humidity. But it'll make it feel, cool it off for a little bit, there for a little while. But yeah, I had to replace a whole lot of batteries in my stuff around here. But I've got to go get another fire extinguisher. And matter of fact, I need to get 2 fire extinguishers because I need to put another one in a particular area. But y'all, in case y'all don't know, you're supposed to be getting those fire extinguishers checked and recharged every once in a while. Just saying, make sure you do that. Okay. Make sure you have plenty of matches. If you need fuel stabilizer, like if you have a generator, make sure you get you some fuel stabilizer to put in it, because a lot of people forget to put, they have their fuel in their generators and they forget about it and leave it in there. But if you get you a little bit of fuel stabilizer and put it in there, it probably won't damage it too bad if you accidentally leave it in there. Just saying. And I always like to try to get me, make sure I have stuff to change the oil in the lawnmower and all of that stuff. A lot of people never think about that, but if your power goes out, well, this is during the summer, but if your power goes out and you don't have a way to, like, let's say you have an electric lawnmower, you might have to go and borrow somebody's gas mower to be able to mow your lawn and stuff. So you might have to go get you some lawnmower oil or something like that. So keep a little bit of lawnmower oil on handy. Sharpen all your blades on all your little items and stuff that you need, and even on your little like pocket knives and stuff. Keep your blades and stuff sharpened on them, because they ain't nothing like pulling out a little knife and you go to use it and you can't cut through nothing. Sharpening stone, a little bit of oil to put on the sharpening stone, get you some of that. Oh yeah, bringing your batteries inside and stuff. Yeah, that's true. Remote. You know what? The stuff that you like your tractor batteries and all that stuff. Those batteries can go bad out in the weather, especially if they have the water in the battery. Yeah, that's a good point. Dang, I didn't even think about that, man. Thank you. See, y'all, it's good to have, it's good that, we come in here and we talk, because, y'all, I learn a lot of stuff from y'all right there in the comment section. I would have never thought get your batteries out and put them up, in the cold. That's right. And even them little e-bikes, they said them people need to keep the batteries and stuff that are on them from out of the cold remote. So that's another thing too, but y'all, your pantry, my point is your pantry doesn't, when I talk about, like preparedness and your pantry and stuff, I'm not necessarily just talking about food. I know it sounds like it, but there's many, many, many things we need for preparedness. Rope, I don't know how many times me and my husband has went to go pick something up, and I'll usually have my straps and all that other stuff, but sometimes you need a good old piece of rope, just straight up rope. And we usually carry that in all of our vehicles. But y'all, you need extra rope for, a multitude of things. Especially if you need to tow somebody. Sometimes you need a little bit of extra grit, and them little straps sometimes is not enough. So, yeah, we do need a lot of rope. That is exactly right. Okay, y'all. OG, how are you doing, hon? Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you came. But anyway, speaking of rope and knots, now, y'all, let's say the power goes out tomorrow, and there's no internet access, no radios, no nothing. Everything's off. There's going to be a lot of people that ain't going to know how to tie their shoes, because all they've ever bought is those little slide-on shoes, because they don't even know how to tie a knot or nothing. There's going to be some people in trouble. But the good thing is, there's usually a library in every community. And libraries and bookstores and stuff, a lot of times have good old school books in them that's kind of been put to the back that nobody don't really check out no more, because they've got the internet. The good old internet that can be utilized for a lot of good things if we use it properly. All right, but these are some books that I value, highly, highly recommend, and I read them quite often, and some not near enough. And this one in particular, I need to read a whole lot more than what I read. This is your basic instructions before leaving Earth. It's the greatest prepared book that you can get on preparedness for living your life. It's called the Bible. That is the number one thing you need to have in your life, whether your power's on or off. You need to have your Bible. So that's supreme. Number one, your Bible. Okay? Now, the next book that I don't think I've seen nowhere in a while is a good old dictionary. Good old dictionary. And why I say that is, there are a lot of words and things in a lot of books that we use, or we need to use if there's a grid down situation or something, and we might not know exactly what they're talking about when we read those books. So having a dictionary is a really good thing. Okay? And I still use my dictionary quite often. I know I talk like a hillbilly and sound like I can't speak proper English, but I actually can, you guys. Okay? Echo, that old dictionaries is the way to go, because these new ones, I ain't no fan of them. Just saying. Okay, y'all, this is a book on knots. Knots. I pick on my husband, I say, knots. Y'all, I found this book for him at a markdown level. And or a markdown price. Let's say markdown level. Am I crazy, y'all? I'm crazy. Okay. Anyway, they have all different kinds of knots to use. They teach you how to make a knot to hold your fishing line lure on, your hook on. They teach you how to store your rope so it doesn't bind up. Y'all, they have got all kinds of knots. Self-stop coil, different techniques for how to make your rope do what it needs to do. It teaches you about useful tools that you need to have a lot of times when using ropes. Um, stuff about harnesses, how to make harnesses, stopper knots, how to get stuff to stop. Y'all, it's endless how to make different, types of ropes. Hey, show and tell, how are you doing? But y'all, it has everything in here about binding knots. I mean, knots, that the military uses. How to make your survival gear, stuff for sailing. Y'all, this book is awesome. And I was so thankful to find it for my husband because, y'all, it's a good book. Much love to you too, baby. Thank you for coming by. Y'all, here's another one that I got. And to me, this is just a treasure. Greenhouse Gardening Made Easy, y'all. This is an old book. I mean, and it's a book club edition, and it's from 1976. That was 2 years, after I was born. Y'all, old school book. And it was printed in America. It won't printed overseas nowhere. But, y'all, it teaches you how to make a greenhouse the old-fashioned way. No frills, no dilly-dallying around. Just the basic. Like this one shows a lean-to greenhouse, 12 foot wide. And it gives you all the different little ways you can do the windows, what height you need it, how to use an exhaust fan, just an old rickety exhaust fan you buy to go in a bathroom or something. It shows you how to use it so you can put it in a greenhouse, because greenhouses need to be ventilated just like your bathroom does. Okay, because, building up condensation, get too hot, whatever. It shows you where to place them at and everything. How to do your humidifiers and your watering systems in them. Y'all, it's got everything in it. This is from 1976. And you can still build a good quality, the best quality greenhouse from a book. This is old as me. You see what I'm saying? So go and look at your old books in your libraries and your old bookstores, and when you're at a yard sale and you see a big old pile of books there, stop and go through them, because you might find you a good little book. And of course, I didn't buy that because I wasn't looking for a greenhouse book when I was 2 years old. So I got it used from somewhere, Well, heck, I might have been looking for a greenhouse book when I was 2. Y'all knowing me. But anyway, here's another book. It's called Garden Problem Solver. Okay? Y'all, there's been many a time I have tried to figure out what in the world is on my plants. My maters, I'll look at them and say, what in the dickens is that? And trying to determine, is it caused from a pest? Is it caused from lack of nutrition? Why are my leaves shriveling up? And knowing I put the right amount of this and the right amount of that on it. And sometimes y'all, the preventive measures that you're using is not going to stop other things from happening that you don't even know they're there. You can't see them before it's too late, and then you got a problem. And a lot of times that's about funguses and bacteria and things like that. Maybe I know a long time ago I used to water my tomatoes from the top of my plant, not thinking about the fact that I hadn't clipped my leaves off from the bottom and they were just dragging on the dirt. Y'all, I had got some blight, and it ruined all my tomatoes from that row of tomatoes. Now, the tomatoes were still good on the bush, but my bush ended up dying. So, but my other patch was fine because, of course, I got this, was reading, in a book. Now, it wasn't this book, it was another book. But I figured out what the problem was and I fixed it. I started making sure I pruned all my leaves off the bottom because then I understood why I needed to prune those leaves off of the bottom. So that when you prune your leaves at the bottom, it just helps keep moisture problems down and stuff. And you always want to water your soil around your tomatoes, not your plants, your top of your plants up here. You're supposed to water the soil. Okay. SAS Revised Edition Survival Handbook. Y'all see what Scott put in there? He said the SAS Revised Edition Survival Handbook has everything about from traps, plants, animals, medicine, saving life, and tons more. He said it's the only real survival book you need. By John Lofty Wiseman. Okay, but that's good information. But I tell you what, Scotty, I ain't going to get rid of my other books. I will not. I'm going to keep it because there's only one book I know that is above all books, and that's my Bible. So I don't trust no other books too much about having everything I need to know in them. But y'all, right here, early blight, that's a big problem on a lot of stuff. It don't just affect tomatoes. Okay, so get you a gardening book. Next thing I have is a complete book of herbs. Y'all, looking at your stuff that grows around your yard, on your lawn and everything, a lot of stuff we think is weeds. We want to go eradicate everything and pull it up and get rid of it. And a lot of times you're pulling up really good stuff that you can use. I remember when I first moved here, I had wild chamomile and mint growing on a little hill right here in my yard at the edge. And I thought it was a weed. I was like, but there's an awful lot of it in one area. It was just a big old clump. And I got to talking to somebody, a very sweet lady around here. And she said one of the ladies who had lived on this property before used to go out there and plant flowers and stuff right on that little hill. Y'all, I had mint there and chamomile and all kinds of stuff. So I went and did me some transplanting. And some of the very same rosemary and mint that I'm growing right now came off of that hill. And over the years, I have given so much of it away, so I'm just saying, you can have a lot of stuff around that you think is weeds. It's not. Dandelions, your plantain, all different kinds of stuff. But this book will teach you like the differences, like with broadleaf plantain, narrow leaf, the different stages of your plants, what you need to look for when they're in bloom, what parts of the plants you can use, how to use it. It's just Rosemary it's a good medicine and it's good on your steak. It's also good to help open up your veins and stuff, or if you have like a like blood clot issues and stuff. Y'all, we have stuff growing all around us that is wild, or it's a plant somebody, especially mint and oregano, they're very invasive. So a lot of times you can find mint and oregano and stuff like that just growing, just you know in places that you live, because people had pots of those things and they've left them there, and the dirt gets spilled out with the plant or whatever. Next thing you know, you got oregano and mint taking over everything. Yeah, thistle is good medicine too. That's right. It sure is. But y'all look for your little herb book. Start finding the herbs in your area. Get you one of these books and just look in it and try to identify, like, if you see a little plant in your yard and you're like, I wonder what that is. Get that book and look at it. And even on your cell phone, you can there's apps that you can take a picture of that plant, and then it'll tell you what they think it is. But I have used that and it's been wrong before. Just saying. The next book I love is The Ultimate Guide to Home Butchering. Love, love, love this book, y'all. This is a farmer's wife's dream book. Just saying. It tells you how to do everything. How to get the best cuts out of the meat. Everything. How to properly let get all the blood and all the, it's got all the important stuff, y'all, is what I'm going to say, because I don't want to gross nobody out that can't handle looking at these books. But this is awesome, y'all. That book, The Home Butchering. Now, two of my favorite books, y'all, and this is just some of my most prized books, okay? Home Remedies. Now, you know this book's old. Y'all, somebody even wrote right here, to lower blood sugar, tablespoon of red wine vinegar, tablespoon of vinegar, and sauerkraut juice. And it says, or take glucovage. Just saying. Saying you can do this or this. Okay. So, but anyway, it's got home remedies, and it says thousands of tips and techniques anyone can use to heal everyday health problems. By the editors of Prevention Health magazine books. Now, I'm going to go over here and look at. This is actually not that old, you guys. Now, it was copyrighted back in 1990. Okay, I'm trying to see. Okay, if this is the first edition. Okay. Okay, I don't see 1990. Okay, it's from 1990, y'all. But it's got all kinds of home remedies. It's got everything. How to fight bacteria, all different kinds of bacteria, tendinitis, teething. It's like a little encyclopedia of what's wrong with you, and here's a solution. Okay? So, and y'all, this is genuinely just old school methods of how to um, treat certain things. You know, and if we would start using books like this, there'd be a lot less people going to the emergency room over stuff that you could have been taking care of yourself. You know, I know you're going to have times where you're going to need to go get like an X-ray for a broken bone or stitches or um, things like that. But a lot of people go to the emergency room for things that they don't need to go to the emergency room for, that can be handled with some home remedies, you know. So, hi, Fast Bear, we got. How are you doing? Hey, Detail Grandma, how you doing, baby? And Nature's Prescriptions. Y'all, that's the last book. Now, this is more detailed on um, vitamins, supplements, and how to prevent disease. It's got a lot of the home remedies in it, but this tells you more about like vitamins that neutralize toxic chemicals. Just saying, that cause hardening of the arteries. Okay, y'all. I'm going to read that again. Vitamins that neutralize toxic chemicals that cause hardening of the arteries. Okay. Just saying. I'm going to reiterate that for a reason, y'all. Anxiety, spices to reduce tumors, you know, stuff for migraines, substances that activate other substances that will help stop certain things in your body, natural remedies for sleeping, things you can take to help your memory, you know, for, well, yeah, y'all, I need to read that big time. Just saying, you know, I need to go over that and be doing whatever that says on page 323 in that book. You know, this is, you know, more about the prevention, how to prevent. And I would say Nature's Prescriptions, that would be a book that I would definitely recommend, y'all. And I'm going to tell you when. 1997. Okay. And the 7th printing was December of 2000. Okay, so this is the 7th printing of this book. And it's called Nature's Prescriptions. Okay, y'all. That is a wonderful, wonderful book. And those books I recommend, y'all. Reading material. That's my basic reading material in my house. And when I want to read something else, like a sewing book or something, I go get it. I got sewing books and stuff in there. But y'all, I mean, most people can figure out how to use a needle and thread. And in my little preparedness book, it does go over that briefly. So, but do y'all have any questions about anything? Yeah, yeah. I don't know a lot of people go there and get healed. That's for sure. But I'm gonna leave that one alone because I don't want to get in trouble on my channel. I'm just saying, I'm gonna be a good little girl tonight and not say too much of nothing on that one. Hi Andy, how are you, dear? Mwah. Mwah to all my people in here. Um, But yeah, y'all, the preparedness books are good, 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 good. And I'm getting ready to have to make some lumpia for tomorrow. So I'm not going to be staying on here too long. Ooh, did I miss something? What about a book? Ooh, I think I missed out on the book y'all were talking about. Okay, I sure did. I think I missed out on something. Okay, okay, but y'all, nature's medicine, and learn how to make you some natural products at home. Y'all, it don't cost a whole lot to go get you some coconut oil, some shea butter, and um, some Epsom salt, you know, and some essential oils and stuff. There's a lot of things that you can make with just that and the natural herbs that are growing in your area. Plantain is used to treat all different kinds of stuff, and you can make salves with that fresh and put it in your refrigerator and keep it for a good long while. Y'all, that stuff works. Oh, Nature's Pharmacy. Oh, the author. By the editors of the FC and A Medical Publishing. Um, let's see here. Do 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 do. Okay, that was a good question. Um, it's by a group of editors of the FCA and Medical Publishing. It doesn't have a specific person per se, but I will tell you this, Access. I find this very interesting. In the beginning of this book, Nature's Prescriptions, Foods, Vitamins, and Supplements that Prevent Disease. Guess what's on the basically the introduction page to this? Y'all, I kid you not, a Bible verse. Yes, sirree. It's got, is there any such thing as Christians cheering each other up? Do you love me enough to want to help me? Does it mean anything to you that we are brothers in the Lord, sharing the same spirit? Are your hearts tender and sympathetic at all? Then make me truly happy by loving each other and agreeing wholeheartedly with each other, working together with one heart and mind and purpose. Philippians 2 1 through 2. Y'all, are you serious? Yes. That's when do you see a Bible verse in a book anymore? I'm just saying, y'all. Y'all, go get you some old books. I'm just saying. I I've used this so much, and I never even seen that. Well, this ain't the only one of these I got. I got more than one of these books. This is this is my one that's special. That's right. Yep. 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 Blessed be His name. That's right. But y'all, and you know what? Access. There is a bookstore that has some of these books right here, and I can go back and look and see how many they have of them, and maybe try to get a couple, and let y'all know if I can get a hold of them or not. So, and work something out with them to hold the books. But yeah. So, and that's not a library. It's a bookstore in Wilmington off of Kerr Avenue. If you want to look it up, that's where I believe it was that I seen this out last that had a couple copies. These two, the home remedies and this. Yep. Okay. All right. I'll check it out. But yeah, my favorite books are these right here. The Butcher. Well, of course, my Bible, my Butcher. These are all my favorite books, y'all. I can't stress to you how important it is to have your books. And I've heard a lot of people covering all this other stuff, but nobody covered nothing about no books. And I'm like, you need to cover your books. You need to be telling your people all about your books. And see y'all, Scott, just that's good. Scott just told us about a book, and now people are, ordering that book. Yeah, we got to share information with other people. Don't be greedy and hold on to your good information. Share it. There might be that one person that it could save their life or save somebody else's life when they go to use that stuff in that book. You know? So, just saying. Okay, y'all. I've been on for 47 minutes. Um, I am going to um, let me see here. I'm gonna look and see if I got anything else I need to go over. I don't think that I have anything else to go over. What I am going to do is remind everybody. I sent a link out yesterday to some people, but I'm going to go ahead on and try to um, try to put it right here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Had to close that out. Um, yeah, if I got to leave home base, I'm always ready for that. Oh, y'all, I put out my channel link. I'm so crazy. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I did that. Y'all don't click on that. I'm so oh yeah, I can't do that. Never mind, y'all. Okay, I can't put that link in there. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah, I need to delete. Yeah, I deleted it. Okay. Thanks, remote. That's a good idea. I need to delete it. Okay, y'all. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, I did. Oh, I make chow chow. Why? Carl, you want to make some chow chow? some chow chow right here that I made. Hold on, Carl, and I'll show it to you. Now, I made mine differently than a lot of people do, but this is the way I made the last batch I made. Right here. That's the chow chow I made the last time. Oh, he does love chow chow? Well, you can make chow chow all different kinds of ways remote. It don't, um, you don't have to use, you know, I don't know. I've never heard of that, Scott. Yeah, I don't know about chocolate cow. Yeah, the chow chow that I made was actually with vegetables. Uh, I put, and this one I put carrots, onions, cabbage, mustard seed. Okay, mustard from mustard powder, and cucumber, zucchini. Did I say onion and garlic? And that's what it looked like. And it's got a pretty color, you guys, and it tastes so good on like kielbasa, sausages, or anything like that. Oh, okay, Scotty, I get you now. No, it wasn't a bad joke. It was just, man, it went right over my head. It literally went right over my head. I'm sorry. You know, it happens with me. You know, stuff goes over my head sometimes. You know, sometimes y'all, I'm like, I don't get it. But yeah, let's see here. Y'all, I am going to try this one more time. Okay, you guys, I just dropped the link in chat. So if anybody wants to come back here and talk with me, um, you can if you've got anything to talk about as far as especially preparedness or whatever. But I'm coming up on my hour mark, and I'm trying to stay under an hour for my streams, y'all. Um, you know, so that's what I'm trying to do. So if if y'all want to, you can jump back here, and we can chitter chat for a while before I've got to start making my lumpia and doing some other stuff, and I got some canning I need to get taken care of, some late night canning, and okay, honey, it was good to see you too, Andy. Well, hello, Count Trumpula. But y'all have a good night, and I'm gonna go ahead and um end it in a minute or two. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody a chance to say their bye byes and stuff to everybody. Thank you, Echo. Y'all, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. If you like anything you heard or whatever, give me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you know anybody who can use any of the information that we discussed tonight. If you can go on and share out the video to them and let them, just share it with them, y'all. It's good to share information with people, you know. Okay, Andy, you are more than welcome to, baby. All right. All righty. Yeah, come and pick my brain. Okay. I don't know if you're going to find much in my little brain, Andy, but okay. All right. Much love to everybody. Y'all have a blessed night. Take it easy. And remember what I always say, be kind. Just be kind. Be kind. Treat people the way you want to be treated, not the way they treat you. You know, take it easy and God bless. Mwah.